Just junk, 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 junk. But I got an iron signal here. It sounded a little different, so I dug it up. And it's a good one. Alright, so you ready for a fun little adventure? What we're going to do is we're going to look for a Civil War relic today. Now, this is a place that I've been in the past. I've done really well over the years. Unfortunately, the river is high today. It's actually up at least 12 inches. Now, I don't think that's going to affect us too much except for out in the middle. What we're going to do today is we're just going to concentrate in the shallow waters. Now, I did want to actually do some scuba diving, but that's not going to happen because it's too murky. This will actually get really, really clear probably in another week or two if it doesn't rain anymore. And although it looks fairly clear, makes a better video if it's crystal, if you know what I mean. Let's turn the machine on. I'll show you how I'm going to set it up, and we're going to start finding some relics. It's going to be a good one. So we'll be hunting with a Garrett AT Max today. I'm just going to turn it on. I'm going to go down to the zero mode, zero discrimination, because I want to hear all the iron. I'll dig everything that's as big as a horseshoe or slightly smaller maybe. I don't have the wireless headphones naturally because I'm in the water, but I'm going to use the headphones because if I put the box underwater right now, I won't be able to hear it when it beeps. And of course you can't see the screen. That's why I have the headphones on. Now you can use it without the headphones, but once that goes under, you're done for the signal. All right, let's get to it. Well, I dug my first target, and I didn't show it to you because it sounded way too good, and in fact, it is way too good. The sound, it's aluminum, but it gave a really, really, really high reading, higher than like a belt buckle even, and it's on some wood. But we know aluminum is not that old. It's after the Civil War. Now, they actually had aluminum during the Civil War in the 1860s, but it was very rare. In fact, it was more valuable than gold back then. They didn't learn how to process the ore until after the Civil War. But I wanted to show you something. That's why I got the camera out. If you look right in here, I'm getting a lot of little like nail sounds. No good squeaks, no big pieces of iron. But if you look down, I guess it's up here. Oh, I drifted down a little bit. If you look down here, I can see some look like boards. I guess they're boards with maybe nails in them. So let's go ahead and grab one. I have no idea how old these are, but they could be Civil War era. Who knows? Now, naturally, I can't tell you if these are Civil War era or not, but they do have square nails in them. This could be like part of an old wagon that was lost in a crossing. Awful lot of nails though. Whoo! They're square, so it's an older piece. That was a gun when I first saw it. Bye bye. It's early in the season. I see some more, but I'm going to listen real close with the metal detector to see if there's like any bullets mixed in or anything. I'll be real surprised if we don't get at least one bullet today. If I get one relic, I'll be a happy man. But I think we're going to get a lot more. Right down there is where I found that piece of wood with all the nails. Well, a couple of them, and it's actually a lot of them up through here. In fact, here's some more, and it's all just loaded with nails. I can't tell what it's made of, but this could be an old bridge. This could be an old barn that washed in the river. I keep looking, hoping there might be a musket down here, but I haven't seen anything yet. But it's kind of interesting that, it's wedged up in the bank there. So all this silt has been deposited since, well, whatever this is, washed down the river, whether it be 50 years ago or 200 years ago. Kind of interesting how the river moves like that, isn't it? Even a small one like this. Some type of bolt or nut, or not bolt obviously, but nut or something. There's something sticking out of the end as a hole there. It's really kind of light though. So this could be, maybe this is part of an old bridge, who knows. Nothing good yet. Don't see any bottles sticking out of there. That would be nice to find some really good old bottles in here, but a piece of iron, that's it so far. I'll put them on the magnet. Digging a lot of these cans. Now you can tell this one's been in the river a long time. It's all mashed up. It's actually dissolving away. If you look at the top. This is the first bullet I've dug. The first like small signal, but that's a modern bullet. It's a post-Civil War wad cutter, I do believe. Something you'd fire out of a pistol maybe at a target. We haven't got to the good spot yet, so hold your breath. Right in here there's a decent signal. And it sounds like it's slightly smaller than a can, but it's more of it right there though. So it's maybe not as hopeful as I once thought. I'm just gonna dig in here. You can see it's just a silty bank, so it's probably a can. Yeah, it's just the lid. So this is probably the rest of it over here, but all right. Sounded kind of like a belt buckle or a breastplate or something. Wasn't quite high enough, but I had my hopes up. All right, next time you see me, we will have a genuine Civil War relic or like a colonial button or something. I'm sorry, but I think I just lied about turning the camera on. I don't have a relic, but I have something pretty cool that I want you to see. Can you see it? It doesn't give off a signal, but I think it's pretty wild looking. Your boat almost pulled me back. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's not in great shape. Oh, by the way, this is an antler from a white-tailed deer. Of course, you know, that's just a skull. And something gnawed the other side off and gnawed on this. I don't think that's good enough to save for my buddy Thomas, so I'm going to put him back, let some other relic hunter find him. There you go. Sorry about that. Ooh, check him out. I do believe he just molted. Look at his wings. That's a dragonfly, and you see his wings are all crinkly, so he just crawled out of the water. I don't know if you've seen those things like the hellgrammites that I find, which are really creepy things that live in the water, they're bugs. He was something similar to that, not a hellgrammite, but he crawled up in there in the sun, just molted. I don't know if you can see his skin. Imagine his skin popped off there somewhere, and those wings will straighten up later today. Oh, look at these other things that molted right here, look. These things here. There's a whole bunch of them. There's one here, there's a bunch of them up there. Huh, pretty cool, huh? Gonna be a yapper by the looks of it. We haven't got to the good spot yet, though. I think I see a snallygaster. Looky, see him? I think we'll keep our distance. There he goes. There he is, going upriver. That's where we're headed, so we'll see him again. Well, I found my first relic. Do you know what it is? I'm going to let you try to guess, but I'll tell you toward the end of the video. It looks like a musket ball that's been fired, but it's not a musket ball. What could it be? Watch my videos, you already know. Well, I got my first bullet. Unfortunately, I was up to here, crouching down, so I didn't get it on camera. But it is a genuine American Civil War ring-tailed or tie-based sharps. That is my favorite bullet right there. They were used mostly by the Confederacy, especially after the first part of the war. We're on the board, baby, with a genuine bullet. Not just the other thing that I found. We'll find some more. A bunch of boards sticking out here too. Look at that. These are all, those aren't trees. Those are actually boards going into the bank. So I think we'll do good right along here. This is kind of interesting. Now, this is a place I have been before, like I told you earlier, but it is definitely washed out a little bit up here. Down below me, it's really sanded in. I didn't show it to you because I was so disappointed. But I think we're going to find a few more things here. I just found that bullet. Noticing there's a bunch of boards sticking out here. You can see them, some others in here as well. Now, these were not visible in the past. A couple of them were, I think, but not this much. Big iron signal right here. Could just be a horseshoe or something. I was hoping I could just feel it. But, you know, could be a relic, could be a bayonet or a gun, or, well, it's not a cannonball, but it's a good Civil War item right there, because this was a Civil War camp. That looks like a part of a musket right there, is it? Or just a piece of wood? Let's go look at it. Haven't been over there yet. Like the end of it, and that's just a piece of wood. But anyway, yeah, that's a good relic right there. We'll put her in our pocket, back up a little bit, and keep working our way upstream. I think we'll eyeball the bullet before it's over. I don't think it's a bullet, but I got a signal right there. I can see something white. Let's go under and look at it together. Yep, that's exactly what it is. This is a piece of melted lead. It was probably a bullet that they used to start a fire. And that's what's left of it. See any bullets? Haven't really heard too many other signals, but it's nice and washed out right here, so hopefully there'll be another few things between here and just around the bend, the camp end, so we don't have too much further to go. We'll keep our fingers crossed though. Got a nice signal under that log right there, and I went out there and dug it. I have not looked at it, but it feels like a bullet to me. You ready? Oh boy, look at that. I think that is an Enfield, which is a bullet. Again, it's, oh yeah, it's a beautiful Enfield. Look at that. It's got the boxwood plug in it. That's sweet. Now, Enfield bullets were more or less, they were imported from England. Now, both sides used them in the beginning of the war, but the Confederacy used a lot more, and they used them all the way through the end. And that little thing in the base right there, it's called a boxwood plug. It's a little wooden plug made out of boxwood that helped hold the paper cartridge onto the bullet, because this bullet would be like this, but on the end of it, where that thing is, there'd be a little tube full of gunpowder. And the soldier would take the little tube full of gunpowder, bite the bullet, bite it off, pour the powder down the barrel, and then take the bullet and shove it down the barrel. That little plug held it in place. Now, if you ever find these things, what you do, don't try to pick it out immediately. In fact, whenever you find an Enfield, I recommend you don't clean the base right away. Go ahead and set it outside, maybe in the sun for a day or two. And if it has a plug in there made out of wood, the wood will shrink. The wood will shrink it slightly, and you can just tap it out and it'll come right out in one piece. That's a great find right there. So I came back to where I found that boxwood plug just to check the hole, and sure enough, there's another signal there. I suspect that's going to be a bullet too. You can see my loop moving. Because it's so cloudy, I'm not going to put you under there. I'm just going to go under with the pinpointer. Well, I can kind of see. That's right where that other bullet was. Yeah, let's go under with a pinpointer. We'll go together. And I suspect that's going to be a bullet too. I can hear some iron as well. Ready? Hold your breath. That was probably very painful for you guys, but I can't see from up here. I don't even know. Well, it's not a bullet. I think it's a nail, but a modern bullet. So it's been fired and the lead came out of the center. Oh well. Okay, so I'm getting ready to head to a slightly different location. We looked along the bank there where it wasn't too deep and found a few things. I know there's more out deeper, but we have to wait till the river goes down. Let me show you what we have so far today. I didn't show you everything I dug. Let's start with this. This is a sickle bar blade. Now, this would be for like cutting hay or corn or something like that back in the old days. Of course, you saw that. Not sure what that is. Found this in the camp area as well. I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's Civil War era or not. And half a horseshoe because there's a ford nearby. You saw these little doodads. Nice little Enfields, a ringtail Sharps, a couple other bullets. You know what this is? That's a tire weight off of like an automobile tire. Of course, got lots of cans, and this is part of a hay rake that you pull behind a tractor. And this little thing, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is real quick. This is a canister shot, or a K-shot rather, that would be inside of a cannonball that exploded. And the way I can tell it's a K-shot is because of that half moon thing right there. When they're putting the cannonball together, they put the balls in there with a tar or pitch, which hardens up, and they have to drill a hole down through the center to put the gunpowder in it. And that's where the drill went through the ball as it was sitting there, you know, in that hard matrix of tar or pitch or whatever they were using. But that's the inside of a cannonball. Speaking of which, I also found a shell fragment, or part of a cannonball right here. This is actually like a parrot shell, probably. But that's a Civil War artillery shell fragment. All right, and those little bullets, you already saw some of those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pack this stuff up and move off to a slightly different location. There's a couple other good spots I want to try to hit today. that we can just hunt the shallow water at least, and then we'll come back here in another week or two. Okay, we're at a different spot. We're kind of headed back toward the truck, but we have a few hours yet to go. I got a nice little squeaker in front of me. I think it's a bullet. I think I can actually see it, maybe. I'm not sure. Somewhere down in here. It's reading really high though, so. Yeah, okay, I think that is a bullet. Look at that. Get ready, hold your breath. That is 100% an American Civil War bullet. Looks like it's a dropped one too. Dropped 3-ring mini. Maybe chewed on just a little bit. It's got that white patina, so I'm assuming it came off the ground, out of the land there, and just kind of washed down here in one of the floods. Hopefully there's some more. I'm saying this is solid bedrock, so they can't go any deeper than that. All right, let's look around some more in this little area. We're going to keep working our way upstream. Well, I just had a joyous little find. I'm going along the bank here. Again, it's a little too deep out in the middle, you know, the water will go down about a foot, and we're not too far from a road, so people have dumped a lot of junk in here. Been digging a lot of fired bullets, just junk. But I got an iron signal here. It sounded a little different, so I dug it up, and it's a good one. Looky. Let's go under and look at it. I already dug it up. That, my friend, is a beauty. It isn't almost, well, it is in perfect shape, really. You'd find these things on land, and they're all rusted away. But look at that thing. Except for being black, it looks like it was dropped yesterday, doesn't it? Sweet. That is a beauty. That is a gorgeous bayonet. That's, of course, if you don't know what that is, that's a bayonet to the to a Civil War musket, American Civil War musket, made by day. I was sweating bullets. Well, not really, because we did find some bullets, but I tell you, with as much iron that's in here, there could be 100 more right at my feet. See any? Do ya? I'm going to check for sure. I'll let you know if there is. And the very next find, right next to the bayonet, the leg to a folding chair. Definitely pro-Civil War. Probably not even as old as me, the Chig. Well, I stuck around the area where I found that bayonet, and I found a ton of other junk in those chair legs. I found a bunch of those things. That might actually be like part of a tent or something. But let me show you a few things. Did find a couple of horseshoes in this same hole. I think that's off of a bridge or something. Some washers, big spike that was in a piece of wood, like for a dam or something. I've actually found a couple really big ones like that. And I just thought of those little chair legs like that. You know, if I had dug that first, I would never have dug that bayonet. I would have left after like the second one. Not too much longer. Check a couple other little spots on the way back to the truck. But I want to get off the river before it gets dark tonight. We're in a slightly different spot. I noticed the bank had eroded here pretty good, so I stopped. And there's a lot of iron, but I got a good signal right here. Looky there. And I'm pretty sure that's a mini ball. Or a bullet of some kind. Let's go look. Well, it's a bullet for sure. That is a Gardner. That's a Confederate bullet. A little bit mushed up. I think it's actually been fired. Looks like there might be a little bit of rifling cut into it, but maybe not. Definitely mushed. Woohoo! Another bullet. Awesome. I think we ought to dig some of this iron too, see what it is. Well, here's one of the iron things. A beautiful horseshoe. There is a ford in this area, so that's probably from the ford. We'll keep digging these, because who knows what else might be in there. Might be another bayonet, or sword, or cannon. Still right here where I found the bullet and the horseshoe, and I just dug a nice chunk of artillery shell, exploded artillery shell from the Civil War, and a big piece of iron. Not sure what that thing is, but this is a great little spot. I'm so looking forward to coming back here. Unfortunately, it's getting a little bit late. Let's keep at it for just a little bit longer. What do you say? Yeah, here's some thunder over in that direction, which is headed our way, so I'm going to start heading up the river, get a little closer to the truck. Lots of junk over there. I think it's a dump. Could be a very good chance of some artillery shells in there, but we'll have to look another day. Here's a piece of pipe. I was hoping it was a musket barrel, but it wasn't. Everything fell off my boat. Lots of big spikes like that. You saw some of this. That's that shell fragment. Horseshoes. Look at that thingamajig. Yeah, so, boy, I tell you, yeah, it's getting late in the day anyway. We're going to come back here to our absolutely promise you, and we're going to find an artillery shell out there. 85% sure. Hope you enjoyed that little adventure.
My big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep,